the Mary Jenkins Praise House. Mary was, in history, a female slave owner. She owned slaves. And this area right here, on that side of the road, going through all the way around a circle, is called Mary Jenkins Circle. This road right here is called Eddings Point Road. Mary Jenkins was plantation owner with her slaves. Eddings was plantation owner with his slaves. They all made up this whole area between Mary Jenkins and the Eddings family. And then you had the Sutcliffe family further down. But you had a combination, those were the two main families that made up this area. But we want to say welcome into this praise house. The praise houses were built right after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, saying that slavery is illegal and no longer permitted to be practiced in the confines of the United States of America. Nowhere. Not in the South, not in the North, East, the West. It didn't matter. Slavery is no longer permissible in this country of any kind. If somebody worked for you now, you got to pay them. That's just plain and simple. You got to give it some money if it's no more than minimum wage, which don't buy a whole lot or anything in any store. Because the store, whatever you buy, probably costs your whole paycheck. You know, I'm just teasing there, but in that time, before the Emancipation was signed, the slaves, the Gulla slaves, the Gulla, and then on the other side of the bridge you call Geechees, which are really basically the same people, but certain traditions different. You know, they differ in certain portions of their tradition. One might do things one way, one might do the other. We always say, a lady asked me one day, she says, in the library, in the public library in Beaufort, a lady was here from the Midwest trying to write a thesis to get a doctorate degree. And she wanted to do it on Gulla culture. And so the librarian brought her to me, a white lady, brought her to me and said, maybe he can help me with those kind of people you're looking for. So I was sitting to the table just reading. And I said, well, what kind of people are you looking for? You know, first thing, I'm very cautious about when people ask me what people, but some certain people they're looking for because I don't even know if I'm talking to a knock or whatever, you know, or DEA. You know, I'm not really volunteering no information. That's one thing about Gulla people. We just don't volunteer information. You know, we speak as we're spoken to. We see and we don't see, we hear and we don't hear. Our old people always taught us that. You speak when you're spoken to. You know, just leave it alone. If it's not your business, don't get into it. Just leave it alone. Go on about, just let them go on about their business. And you just keep your peace. Well, she asked me the question. She said, sir, can you tell me how to find the Gulla people? The Gullas. She wanted to find the Gulla people. And so I looked at her. I said, the Gulla people? So she said, yes, sir, can you help me with them? I said, you talking about my Gulla people? My people, the Gullas? So she said, oh, I'm so sorry. She said, that's how you say it? She said, it's Gulla? I said, yes, ma'am, it's Gulla. She said, where are they located? I heard they was down here someplace. They live down here someplace. And she said, where can they be found? She said, is the plantation still going? She thought they were still on the plantation. You know, still wearing the long frock dresses, or whatever, with the rags around the head, bending over, you know, and somebody sitting on a horse watching them pick cotton and do rice plantations and stuff like that. So she said, I almost started to tell her, yeah, they're right around here, just go to Walmart. I said, they're all in Walmart. But I said, no, that'd be, you know, being too sarcastic, you know. So I said, man, they right around here, man. Everywhere you look. So she said, where's the big house that they serve? I said, there's none of those around no more, man. There's not no big houses like that around anymore. So she says, there's another group called the Geechees. The Geechees? And I said, you're talking about the Geechees now, right? She said, oh, I'm so sorry, I keep getting the names mixed up. And I said, well, that's all right, man, we understand. She said, the Geechees, she said, are they and the Gullas related to each other? And the Gullas related to each other? Do they have anything in common with each other? I said, yeah, they're skin folks. Not all the time kin folks, but they're skin folks, okay. I said, it all depends on which Geechee you meet, which Gullah you meet, whether they want to be related to each other or not. It all depends. So she said, I said, one is the Apache, one is the Comanche. She said, which one is the Apaches? I said, it's the Gullas. And she said that the Comanche. So you're saying that the Geechees and Comanches? I say, if you was going to liken them like that in the Old West, if you want to put them in that scenario. So she says, yes. She said, do they get married and things like that? I said, yes, ma'am. They do tend to do that from time to time. I said, now you have a mixed breed, ma'am, it's called Gullah Geechee. They mix together. I said, so she said, she just wanted to know all those funny things, you know about the Gullas, the Gulla people. Some people come and say the Gillas. Some people say the Gulla, and some people say the Gillas. Where are the Gillas? So I just have to just say Gulla. Gulla. You can tell when people from the South or they're from someplace else, you know, because they never, excuse me for saying that, I hope not you, are you any of you from Yankee Land?
No.
No, okay, if you're from Yankee Land, people who come from Yankee Land really never know how to pronounce things. Certain things, they never know how to pronounce a certain thing the correct way. You know, it always has to be us to correct them on how things are pronounced and how things are done and how people do things. I said the plantation is over with. They still here, but as far as the slave labor goes, that is no longer. I said, matter of fact, the white people in the South would not hear about it if they were to find out that there was still a plantation where they're having people to do labor for nothing. They would be the first ones probably to blow the whistle on it and have it investigated immediately. And somebody going to either answer up or either they're going to jail. I said, it won't be the black people that have to report it. It's the white folks walk right by, seeing that going on, it'll come to an abrupt end. I guarantee you it will stop happening. But the Praise House was built right after the Emancipation was signed by the President of the United States, President Abraham Lincoln. And it went into effect, when it went into effect in 1863, January 1st, 1863. See, before then, the Gullah slaves, the Geechee slaves on the mainland, they went through, especially the island slaves. The island slaves were basically your Gullah people. They went to church, as the Gullas would say, not church, but they would go to church as the Massa permitted them, not master, but Massa. The Gullah would say Massa. And they had to earn the right to go to the church. And they had to do so much work during the week. And the overseer, the cracker, had to report to the landowner, the plantation owner, who was ready to go to church. The word cracker is being the one who cracked the whip. The Gullah was the first one to use the word cracker. Cracker don't mean a racial term. It wasn't supposed to be a racist term for no reason. It was just showing the one who sat on the horse with the whip in his hand, cracking the whip. They would say, oh, let's get the whip for the cracker to come.